Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today we are on day 10 of JoyTangle, which is a Christmas themed Zentangle challenge that I'm hosting here on my YouTube channel as well as my other social media platforms. And if you're new here, then don't worry, I'm going to bring you up to speed very quickly. So I had created a list of 25 prompts for all the 25 days of the challenge, so we can take one prompt every day and create a Zentangle drawing around that particular prompt or that particular tangle. And today we are on day 10, and the prompt that we have for today is this beautiful tangle called Reticulated. Now, I came across Reticulated very recently, and I feel like this is a beautiful, elegant tangle that can pair well with so many different tangles. And since this is a relatively new tangle for me, I decided that I want to create a monotangle tile today instead of doing it with multiple tangles the way I've been doing it for the first few days of the challenge. So today I'm going to start off with these wavy lines, which are the foundation of Reticulated. And these don't really need to line up perfectly. As you can see, I'm going very freehand over here, in the classic Zentangle style. I'm not really worrying about symmetry. I'm not really worrying about perfection. I'm just taking it one stroke at a time. Now, when you see the step out for this tangle, you will notice that this usually has a singular thin line. But for me, I'm going to actually make these lines a little bit thicker by giving them a slight aura and then coloring them in. And the reason for that is that I'm aiming for bright color pops and lots of inky, heavy, detailed areas in my drawing. And that's the kind of visual language that I've been maintaining for the last few days of this challenge. And the goal over here is to make all my 25 drawings come together as a series in the end, which is why I'm going for a similar visual language with similar strokes and similar detailing. But if you don't want to do this, then you can totally follow the exact steps as are listed in the step out. And the links to all the step outs are going to be in the description box below. So make sure that you check them out. And a big shout out to Livia Chua for creating this beautiful tangle. I'm so sorry if I'm not pronouncing the name correctly, but I'm going to put in the correct spellings of the creators' names in the description box below so you can check those out. Alright, so once I had the wavy lines in place, then I went back in with my red pen and started to add these semicircles. And again, there are so many different variations that you can do over here in terms of the thickness of the strokes, in terms of the colors that you can use, and also in terms of how high you want them to go, or the scale of it in terms of how small or big you want to draw them in. So there are so many different ways to customize this particular tangle, but in my case I'm going for slightly bigger, bolder chunks of color because I want to come back in with my thinner pens later on and add lots and lots of tiny details. The next step was fairly simple. I just went back in with my green pen and created these small sections, which are basically going to act as stripes. And then I just went back in and started to color them alternate. After that, I went back in with my gold pen and filled in those little semicircles, and also gave them a slight outline. And you will probably be able to make out that this is an intentional decision or an intentional choice over here, because for the last few days I've been adding lots and lots of gold on all my tiles. So again, this is a conscious decision to try and keep the same visual language in all my 25 tiles so that they collectively seem like a cohesive series. Now, the next step was to basically do alternate sections with alternate colors. So areas which were green ended up becoming red, and areas that were red ended up becoming green. So in the same way, I filled up my tile with the alternate design on each of the sections. After that, I went back in with my gold pen and decided to add in some tiny orbs in all of those white spaces. And from this point on, you'll notice that the basic structure of the tangle is pretty much done. But now I'm just going to go back in and give it all my love and attention to pour in all those details and little intricate tiny patterns within those bigger spaces. So after the gold dots, I will start to add the white dots in all of those wavy lines. Once the white dots were done, then I went back in with my gold pen and started to outline them. And it's not looking very obvious on the camera right now, but later on, once I tilt my tile a little more towards the light, you'll really be able to see that gold shining beautifully around those white orbs. Now, the next step was to outline the gold orbs that we had drawn. So for this, I again decided to go alternate. So in the sections where I had red stripes, I went in with green outlines around those gold orbs. And in the sections where I had green stripes, I decided to go with the red pen as outlines around those gold orbs. Once that was done, I went back in with my white jelly roll pen and started to add in some details inside those stripes. And for this, I decided to do a Zentangle original tangle called Msst. And Msst is a very, very simple tangle to draw, but it's also very impactful to, easily fill up small sections in your drawing. So it's this beautiful tangle which is intricate, but at the same time very minimalist in terms of its strokes and in terms of the S-curves and the dots that it utilizes. So it's basically these wavy lines which are sort of dripping down, very similar to like a waterfall effect. And we basically just end it with dots. And that's what I'm adding over here on these stripes. After I finished adding Msst, I went back to those semicircles and added in some white lines. And these almost look like sun rays around those golden semicircles. So I'm quite happy with the way this little, I think, stroke of genius came to me. And I was able to sort of make it look like little sun rays going out, and then on the stripes it looks like rainfall. So it just ended up being like this cute weather inspired composition in my head. So yeah, or maybe it's just in my head, maybe you don't see it the same way, but I was pretty happy with the way this turned out. And yeah, so after that was done, for the finishing touches, I just went back in with my white jelly roll pen around those green stripes that we had done earlier, and then just gave them a thin outline. This is just to make them stand out a little bit better against those stripes that we have done. And this almost gives like a very wallpaper like effect now, or almost looks like an ornate, intricate wrapping paper of some sort. And I love the playful, Christmassy vibe that this is giving. This is exactly the kind of vision with which I had started off this 25-day project. And I wanted all of these patterns to have like a very playful vibe to them, with lots and lots of pops of color and a lot of inky details. So yeah, super happy with the way this turned out. I'm going to be honest, this was one project that took me a lot of time to draw, because in terms of the amount of detailing, this was a little time consuming. But at the end of it, I was very, very happy. And yeah, usually I give away all of these projects that I draw and post YouTube tutorials of, but I think this time I'm probably just going to keep a few tiles for myself, and this one's definitely going to be one of them. So yeah, had a lot of fun creating this. Okay, so now you've seen me add all the finishing touches, and it's time to remove the washi tape and have a look at this beautiful, beautiful tile. And that's how it turned out. So you can see all that gold shining beautifully in the light. And yeah, that was day 10 of our 25-day challenge. If you're keen to follow along the challenge, or if you want to recreate any of these projects that I'm doing for 25 days, then make sure that you check out the JoyTangle playlist, which I've linked in the description box below. And I will see you very, very soon with my day 11 video now. And you definitely make sure that you don't forget to subscribe to my channel. So I will see you very, very soon. Till then, take care and keep creating.